Well, hello there, friends, and welcome to Virtual Strangers 70. I'm your host, Wes. With me, as always, my good friend Roots. Roots, 70, man, the big 7-0. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready, man. I can't believe it's been 70 weeks, man. It feels like it's been like three. It's like our third episode, right?
Every week is like the first time, Roots.
Yeah, that's a good thing though.
It is. It is. It's the VR landscape. I mean, it just changes so quickly. It really is like a fresh show. I mean, we continue to, acquire and accumulate skill, but the subject matter is such in flux that it's always fresh, it seems like.
Yeah, it seems like there's always something new to talk about. Something that what's funny is everything just changes so quickly. I guess that's society in general, but like some of the things that we're talking about today weren't even on my radar at all. Others were, but we've been kind of forgotten about. So it's a interesting show today.
Yeah, it's an interesting show. Probably going to be a little bit of an abbreviated show. I knocked a topic or two off. I've got my dad. He's actually here for the first time, and well, since the world changed, I
Oh
haven't seen him
wow.
since about Christmas. So he just arrived, and he's patiently awaiting me to fulfill my duty to my community here. But an awesome banger of a show, nonetheless.
Nice. That's awesome, dude. Is he watching? Hey, Wes's dad. Maybe we shouldn't do any my mom jokes.
Nah, he'd be the first one to laugh at my mom jokes. So
Okay.
wide open as usual, business as usual here on the Virtual Strangers program.
Good news. And so what's up, Sleigh Base? I can't talk
Yeah,
today.
Slave Blaze in the house, Scion, Zayla Maru, Roy Schwartz, what's up? My friend Greg's VR says he's repping that 1998 flavor for a minute there. I don't know if maybe he's talking about your background. Hussein X, what's up, buddy? Ashley Trouble, laughing her proverbial ass off. Uh, anyway, dude, a jam-packed week of VR news to talk about. Wanted to kick it off with this state of play, man. We had a lot of ideas of what we might see out of this state of play. A lot of preconceived notions about what it was going to actually be, and it turned out to be mostly not what we expected at all.
Nothing close. Yeah, I was looking for the Resident Evil 8 clip. It's not on there.
Yeah, man, I don't know what to think about that. I mean, Sony been silent for so long on PSVR, with the exception of Iron Man and Dreams. Really, no kind of promotion, no kind of direction from Sony what they're planning on doing with the platform. We just kind of know that the old hardware is going to be passed along to the next generation based on some comments they made a long time ago, and that's about it. So when we heard that they were going to feature some PSVR on this week's State of Play, we made some assumptions. We thought the dam was finally going to break on all the PSVR news. We certainly if anything, expected to get what you just mentioned, confirmation of PSVR support for Resident Evil 8. But outside of Vader Immortal, I mean, absolutely nothing here that we expected to see.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, we know Evil's getting it's going to get VR. We know it's getting VR. It's just I'd like to hear it come out of their mouths so I can feel better about it.
Well, that's the thing, right? At first, you're kind of bummed because, I mean, despite the big announcement, and there was a huge, giant, colossal announcement during the state of play, but despite that, you kind of feel like maybe Sony's just throwing you a bone here. But on the other hand, like you said, that game's going to have VR support, which means that they're still holding out. So this big PSVR blowout that we've been expecting most likely is still coming. And Roots, I've been kind of down on the idea that we were going to get new hardware next year, but the longer that they hold out makes me feel more and more like they're holding out for something, right? And now I'm kind of starting to sway back the other way. Maybe we are going to get a new headset this year.
Well, I don't know. I keep saying I think we will. It just makes more sense, especially with the PlayStation 5 dropping, and you don't have to get it if you don't want to. So, and they really need to address the controllers, the tracking, just everything that holds it back. If they come out with a new headset, it's now a 100% contender with PCVR out the jump. So that'd be cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, they already have the headsets, but what they're trying to fight off is Oculus Quest. Oculus Quest is becoming the new entry point for VR. And if Oculus keeps going in the direction that people think they're going to go and dropping that price point down even further under 400, now all of a sudden Sony has a problem, right? Before it really wasn't much of a deal because you could always count on your 110 plus million PlayStation users out there to buy your device. It's why the PSVR headset is by far the most owned headset out there. But if Oculus keeps dropping that price point, now all of a sudden Sony has a problem. So it's kind of a bitter, a double-edged sword. If we get the headset this year, I mean, that's great. We kind of need it. The hardware's kind of starting to get outdated, but at the same time, if we get it next year, then it's going to be a better headset, more features, and so on and so forth. So it's an interesting situation. I got to imagine we'll have some clarity by the time PS5 arrives, right?
Yeah, yeah, and see, and I'm in a different boat than you, right? Because you have the PlayStation VR already. God, I can't talk today. So you just don't really care. You'd like a headset, but it's not that big a deal for me. If a new one comes, then I've got to buy one either way. I'd rather buy the new one. So I'm hoping it comes out. And like I said, I just want better tracking and better controllers, and then I'll be completely happy with PSVR.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, you pretty much wrapped it up there. I'm fairly content with the idea of using my old hardware for another year to 18 months, with the PS5 console reviving it, giving it new life, allowing us to see just how good that hardware is, because the console has always been the bottleneck, right? So now that we're taking that out of the way, we're going to see just how good this thing really can be. Maybe they take advantage of that 120 hertz mode that barely got used on PS4. A lot of untapped potential there. But let's talk about the state of play here. Uh, we kind of expected when we heard PSVR 40 plus minutes. We expected the dam to break. We expected RE7. I'm sorry, RE8, GT7. We expected maybe even Minecraft, and of course Vader Immortal, which we got. But what we weren't expecting, well, first of all, we didn't get any of that. We didn't get hardly anything that we were expecting, but we got one very big thing that we had no clue was coming, and that is Hitman 3 VR. Now, we knew Hitman 3 was coming. This was a title that was announced during the Future of Gaming event back in June when they unveiled their lineup for PlayStation 5. We knew then that Hitman 3 was coming. And of course, it was on that list, that long list from that program of games that we would love to see get VR support. But we really had no inkling that it was actually in development. And Roots, uh, it's always a big deal, right? When these big franchises make the jump over to VR. And, you can't overstate it enough what a big deal this is for PlayStation VR and VR in general.
Yeah, it's huge. Now, did they say it's going to be a PlayStation exclusive at first, or did they say anything of that nature? Or
I think that they're being purposefully ambiguous about that. That they have only announced PSVR support.
hmm,
But if you go to the actual Hitman or the IO Interactive website and start reading about this feature, they refer to it as VR support. They don't keep talking about Hitman PSVR. They talk about Hitman VR, VR coming to Hitman, VR, VR, VR.
Hmm.
They don't say explicitly PSVR except for the promo material, right? The PlayStation blog post, the trailer, all that stuff says PSVR. So they're being purposefully ambiguous. I expect it to be a timed exclusive. I think they're still negotiating because if you read the blog post, there's a thing toward the end that says we're currently exploring ways to bring Hitman into PlayStation VR, and we will give you all details as they emerge, or something to that effect. So it sounds to me like they're trying to shake Sony down, for lack of a better term. They want to make it a PSVR exclusive, but I'm not sure that it's a done deal yet.
Hmm. Well, I guess part of me would like to see that, but more of me wants to see it on PC. But you know, how good is this for GTA in general, or GTA 5 in VR? Because you know, everybody said that GTA 5 shouldn't be in VR because it's just too visceral. You know, you're going to be shooting people right in the face, you know, at the convenience store or whatever. Well, this one you get to literally grab a string or rope and choke somebody to death and kill them. You know what I mean? Like we're now leaping to that next level of craziness, which is good because it's going to open the door for that other stuff, right?
Yeah, and when you pair that with the fact that GTA 5 is going to come free with every PS5, now all of a sudden it makes the prospects of GTA 5 in VR all the more likely. And you know, we've said it since day one that we started this channel. You know, Grand Theft Auto VR is the singularity, right? If you want to get people in the headsets, that's you know, that's what needs to happen. That more than anything, that more than Half Life, more than any other title would sell headsets. And when you see stuff like this just casually being announced during a state of play, um, it makes that seem like a more realistic expectation, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's like, well, what else is coming? What other IPs, right? I mean, Sony's got
Yeah.
so many of them, and I mean, obviously this isn't one of theirs, but I mean, this shows you that they could bring anything could come, right?
Yeah, and
So,
lots of rumors flying around, not about VR specifically, but about PS5. That basically, you know, I keep up with the PS5 rumor mill pretty actively, and this past week it's been all about third-party support being exclusive to PlayStation 5. So, for example, the new cross-platform Avengers game that's coming to PC and consoles um, is going to only have Spider-Man on the PlayStation version. And apparently, there's supposedly a lot more of this type of thing coming over the next year. A lot more of these huge third-party titles are going to have exclusive features to PlayStation, and even some of these titles may even be timed exclusives. So yeah, this just seems like it very possibly could be another thing in that category in what is rumored to be a very long list that has yet to be unveiled.
yeah, yeah, it's a good time for VR. We have all these IPs to come, and it's just like Christmas, Wes. I was not expecting this at all. You know.
Yeah, and you know the really cool thing about it, Roots, is it isn't just Hitman 3. The last two Hitman games featured these incremental episodes, right? The structure of Hitman as a game, I don't know if you've played it or not. It's not like a linear open world story driven thing. It's kind of situational, right? Episodic.
Hmm.
Kind of like Just in Time Incorporated, for example, where you're playing through these scenes and scenarios, and it's sandbox style, so you've got the freedom to kind of attack it how you wish. But at the end of the day, it's just episodes. So when Hitman 2 came out, it allowed you to import all of the episodes from Hitman 1 into Hitman 2. Well, apparently Hitman 3 is going to give us the same ability. We'll be able to import every scene from Hitman 1, every scene from Hitman 2, pull all of it into Hitman 3, and play it all in first person VR via the Hitman 3 game.
Wow, I've never even played any of them. I didn't know that. Situational. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, it sounds awesome, dude, and it looks very high quality. I haven't played them either, but I'm very familiar with them. Um, there are going to be some noted changes. Obviously, bringing this thing into VR, they're going from a third person perspective to a first person perspective. Um, a lot of the the interactions, like the when you're fighting in the Hitman game, you get to choose how you want to attack, but a lot of the action sequences are kind of these canned cinematic things that you kind of autoplay after you initiate. That no longer is going to be the case because, quote, you'll stand face to face with your targets and look them in the eyes,
Mm.
blend into a busy crowd and hear the chatter and conversations happening around you, and interact with items using your hands. For example, you can swing a frying pan in whatever angle you want to knock out a guard, and then use it to deflect any bullets that are fired at you as you make your escape. So, what we can take from that not only is that obvious that they're going to support motion controllers, it's not just going to be a gamepad game, but all of those canned cinematic animations that took place in the older versions of the game, all that's going to be gone now, and it's all going to happen in real time
Hmm.
in first person VR.
Does it kind of make you feel like going back and playing the old school one first just so you can see the difference? Probably not. I'm kind of glad I never
Well,
played it before. Now it's like all fresh, right?
yeah, yeah, it's another in a very long line of titles for me that I get to experience for the first time in VR. You know, stuff like Fallout, stuff like Skyrim, stuff like Half Life. I never played flat, so my first and only experience with these games has been in VR, and Hitman's going to be very much the same situation.
Nice. Well, that's we've had so many games like that. Borderlands for me, Borderlands 2 is the first time I played it was in VR. Skyrim, Fallout 4, I mean all those, and I'm glad I waited. Half Life, even though I didn't get to play them in VR yet per se. But yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. And you know, you asked if I felt like going back and playing them just to familiarize. No, but what I will probably be doing, well, I say probably, I mean definitely, is going back and buying them because again, you've got to own them to import them, right? Into Hitman 3. So I think honestly, I don't think that you literally import them. I think that just owning the license to the older games unlocks the content
Hmm.
in the new game, and so I think they may even be on sale right now. So for those of you, well, let's check it in real time. You know, I got it right here. Uh, for those of you that are interested in picking this up, and let's be honest, if you have a PSVR, who isn't interested in picking this up, you might want to start keeping an eye out for these older titles because you are going to need them to play all of the locations in Hitman 3.
Oh, nice. Onakazi says this is the 2016 reboot, by the way. I guess F Reality didn't know that. You know, I hate to burst your bubble. I didn't know that either, but I'm sure Wes did because Wes knows it all. He's Mr. Know It All.
Well, what are we talking about here?
Oh,
The reboot?
the reboot of this game. I guess this is a 2016 reboot of is it Hitman? I guess is that what you're saying, Onakazi?
Yeah, from my understanding, this game is a new title and is going to be the conclusion to the series. This is going to be the last Hitman title, and
Hmm.
the what a few of the last scenes, I guess, is going to put a cap on the story here.
Oh. No,
But
no power for Jim Hall. What a bummer. That bums me out. 6 days now. That's crazy.
6 days without power. Good
Yeah,
Lord, what's happening?
man, it's that the hurricane, man. The little storm that went through. Apparently, it's just knocked all the power out forever.
I didn't think that was real, Roots. I thought that was just fake news.
Well, it's real for Jim because he's been waiting to play some Sea of Thieves with me, and I've been waiting too, and it's just not been happening.
All right, so for the record here, the the entire series is not on sale, but Hitman 2 is on sale. Hitman 2 is 80% off right now, $12. So I'm going to pick it up. I suggest anyone else who plans on playing this do the same.
Okay, $12. That's not too bad.
It's a $60 title, so
Holy
yeah,
crap! I wonder if
$12 is
you
a
might be able
good
to get it
deal.
on the key site even cheaper. Maybe it's been out for a while, right?
Maybe a lot of the key sites don't have PSVR or PlayStation keys, but
Oh, okay.
I think CD keys does have some, but again, I don't know exactly how many that they how many games that they really have. I've never really went that route when buying PlayStation games.
Spry Guy's got a good idea to play Hitman 2 on Helix Vision before it comes out, because Helix Vision is the bomb.
Yeah, I haven't tried Helix Vision, but from what I hear, that it is pretty awesome. I just killed my chat window here.
Mm.
Yeah, people have been bragging a lot on Helix Vision. I'm just getting started on Vorpx, so I haven't had time to get into Helix yet. But I'm having a great time, playing playing with Vorpx. I just finished Journey, and that's actually going to be one of the things that we talk about tomorrow on the Monday show.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna try some Journey. I'm gonna try to do it on Helix Vision if I can, but I know I can do it on Vorpx because I got in there already. But I got to play that today. I might even stream it. So
Yeah, man, it's pretty awesome. Again, after you just use the regular Vorpx profile for it, and then when you're in game, you can click in your thumbstick, and it'll bring up the in-game Vorpx menu,
mm.
and there's a 3D slider on there, and you can kind of set the 3D up just like you would be super sampling. Now you don't have to add much, but I set it from 1 to 1.25, and it just popped wonderfully.
Isn't that funny? Because that's exactly what I did too. I set it to 1.25, and it was good. It was real good.
I initially set it up to 2, and it
Mm.
was like popping my eyes out of my head, so I had to dial it back just a little bit.
Yeah, it gives you a warning too, but I don't know. I think you should try Helix Vision. The 3D pops even more if you can believe that. And
So does it have profiles the way that Vorpx does? I can just enter my game in and it'll
it,
automatically
it does for some. They've only got certain. I mean, just like Vorpx, they've got a list of them, but you can actually create your own profile, and you can do different stuff. I mean, if it's got Unreal
uh,
Engine, for sure it should play it. But I got into so many games the other day, so.
well, here's the thing, dude. I'm not trying to tweak settings and do all that. I'm going in and trying profiles out. If they work, great. If they don't, I'm on to the next. So if it's something that's easy to use like Vorpx is, then absolutely I'll give it a shot. But if I have to know what to do with these sliders and these different values, I have no idea how to do all that stuff, and I really don't have time to learn it.
Yeah, Vorpx is a little bit more complicated as far as the things you can do, and Helix Vision is not. So I would definitely say it's worth checking out. Um, I've been having a lot of fun. I played Wreckfest in it, and so it was really good.
I'd be interested in checking out that Pinball FX3. I'd
Mm.
like to check that one out.
That's the one to play because it actually brings the table up, and it's not like you're playing. I don't know. I preferred it in the FX3 in the in that mode for sure for Helix Vision. It just popped really good. It was cool.
All right, got a few questions here. Chris Richardson asks, "Is Vorpx the way to inject VR into games for PC?" It is a way. Uh, it's the one all-inclusive way that isn't like you know, going into INI files and modding games. So yeah, Vorpx is good for that. Jim Hall asked, "What's the difference between Vorpx and Helix Vision?" Helix Vision is strictly uh, cinematic 3D theater mode, right? So it's only windowed games in Helix Vision, unless I'm mistaken. And is that right, Roots? It's all windowed in Helix Vision.
Correct. Yeah, but you can move the window closer, bigger, make it bigger, smaller, whatever. And it's in really good 3D. So if you have it set up right, it's like literally like you, unless you're turning to the left or right and looking like you normally would in VR, it feels like you're in VR. And the 3D is really good. So
Yeah, and Scion asked, "Did I play Journey in 3D cinema or VR mode?" Strictly 3D cinema, Scion. It's the only thing that makes sense for that kind of a game. Honestly, it's a third-person platformer with a tiny little character. I mean, you could have had 360 world all around you, but it's kind of pointless because the camera always follows. So
I don't know.
you don't really
In my opinion,
need
I
it.
I just don't think that, at least from my experience with Vorpx, the full VR mode is just, it feels weird. It uses a lot of resources and it just feels like not real VR to me. So I prefer to do it in a window mode that's 3D and have it use less resources. But I guess it's just to each their own. So
Yeah, I haven't tried any of the full VR experiences. I have looked into it quite a bit, uh, and from what I can tell, it just depends on what game you're playing. Some games run really well in full 3D. Other games run better on the immersive screen window. And to be honest, and I don't want to have my full Monday show here and during the Hitman segment, but uh, I'm okay with playing on an immersive screen. It's something that I've actually called for a long time for Sony to do. I think it's something that they could very easily do as a feature for PlayStation VR
mm,
is to have an immersive 3D screen for their flat games. And the success of titles like Vorpx and Helix Vision just goes to point that out. It wouldn't be anything for a big company like Sony to implement this kind of software into their console. And I mean, that would tell me that wouldn't sell headsets, Roots.
oh hell yeah, dude! I'll tell you, one of the best ways that I've ever seen my friend Pedro is in Vorpx, and I think you could take any flat game, any scroller, and it's going to look 10 times better. Like you said, you had that software put in there. Any game that you play normally, you just plug it in, and automatically you're playing a 3D version of it. How hard would that be? Uh,
Yeah, man. And they can support their titles on a title to title basis. It wouldn't be this kind of one shoe fits all thing like Vorpix is. They could very easily, add a 3D theater mode into their first party titles. I'm sure it wouldn't take very much resources, very much know how. And again, it would be a huge selling point for PlayStation VR and to be quite honest, PlayStation 5 as well.
Yeah, because every game you have is now you can play in VR in a 3D mode. I mean, because it's one thing to
Yeah,
play it on the screen, but when it's 3D, it just changes everything, right?
I mean, there's a lot of things that make VR great. But I mean, number one on the list is 3D visuals, right? That's what makes, I mean, that's why flat games are flat, right? Because they're not 3D. Uh, anyway, it would eliminate flat games. And, in a perfect world, there would be no such thing as a flat game anymore because you would just be able to play them all in the headset and they would be 3D.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I am. Hopefully, that's the route they go, but only time will tell, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, they're smart guys at Sony, always pushing the envelope. So it wouldn't shock me if they're already working on it, and it's just a feature that they haven't unveiled yet. But again, could be something comes with PSVR 2, could be something that comes with PS5, it could be something we never see. It's just old Weasel's wish list, pretty much from day one of getting my PSVR.
Yeah, mine too.
Anyway, a little bit more PSVR news. This one not so shocking as Hitman 3. We got the release date to Vader Immortal, Roots. We found out that Vader Immortal is coming to PSVR this month.
Hmm.
And just as we had hoped, all three episodes are going to be available on August 25th. Roots, I think that this is the way to go, and it's the way it should have went all along.
Yeah, so they're still selling them individually though. Like you only have to buy one. You could still buy the first one and then the second one, the third one. I think they should be. You just have to buy the whole thing. $30, boom. $25.
Well, they may bundle it. They haven't said anything to that effect. But I kind of get why. I mean, they are three separate titles. I mean, it's not just the story mode, right? You have those lightsaber dojos
Hmm.
as well, which are very different from game to game. So I get it while they're separate, but I absolutely agree with you that they should be bundled, specifically because we've seen it time and again. PC titles that come to play PSVR, they have to pay that PlayStation tax, right? And these were already at the high end, being $10 per episode on PC. So I got to
Mm.
imagine what they're going to be, 12, 13, $14 a piece on PlayStation VR. So it makes sense to bundle them all together and get your $30 that way.
Yeah, not only that, but I guess it'll be interesting to see if it follows the same suit. Everyone played the first one, and then the second one they didn't play as much, and then the third one, I would be interesting to even just see the numbers for PC, like how many bought one versus three. I know the reviews are off the chart different, and so many people in our chat last time, they said they didn't buy the third one. So there's just something about the series that didn't make people want to continue it, and I don't know, was it just not that good, or I mean,
I think that those people are the minority roots. I mean, I bought all three of them, and I didn't have to. Like I had access to them in our shared library as it is, but I bought them anyway, just because I wanted to own them, and I feel like that's what most people did. It's very highly rated, and got good reviews for the most part. I think the second one kind of the reviews lagged a little bit on it because it was so short. I mean, the second one was like what 30, 35 minutes long.
yeah.
But besides that, I mean, I think that might have soured some people paying $10 for such a short story experience. But all in all, my only real complaint was that they broke it up to begin with. The pricing really wasn't the problem for me. The quality level certainly wasn't the problem for me. I enjoyed playing it. The lightsaber dojo was a ton of fun, just in its own right. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it's received. But I would expect that most people are going to buy them all probably on day one.
Yeah. Are you gonna buy them for PC or PSVR?
I considered it, but I mean, I've already got it. I can play it on Quest. I can play it on PC. I don't see why I need it now. No word if there's going to be any kind of exclusive content. Of course, that is a possibility. Sometimes when these things release on the console, like we were talking about earlier, Sony will, uh, you know, put some kind of deal in place for some kind of exclusive DLC or some kind of new game mode. If that were to be the case, I would certainly consider it. But as it stands, it's going to be interesting to see anyway how this translates to PSVR because there are some action sequences in it, and even though you can't really die from it, it is 360, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and you're stuck in spot. You need to be able to move. That's what really bugged me the most about this thing. But yeah, I definitely think they're gonna have to alter how you're doing everything because they don't want you whipping around and trying to block bullets or whatever or slice some enemies. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, especially like in that lightsaber dojo, they're directly behind you in that thing, and of course with the single camera, that's going to cause controller occlusion. It's not a problem for the headset. The headset can be tracked, 360 degrees, but when you turn around, it causes the controllers to be occluded from
mm,
the camera, and you can lose your hands. And I don't care how strong you are with the force roots, your hands will float away if you turn around.
that's true. Well, Hussein X says that he's decided you need to buy it because it'll add a new dimension to the lightsaber.
That's a good point. It will feel a little bit more natural with the lightsaber. I never even thought about that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Good point. I'll catch it when it go. I'll tell you what, Hussein, when it goes on sale, I'm not going to drop another $30 for it. But if I can get it for like 15 or $20 for all three of them, sure, why not? I'll do that, especially if it gets good reviews and these concerns that I've just brought up turn out to be, taken care of. Then absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So there you go. Wes is getting it first day. Oh, that's not what he said.
No, not at all. I thought about reapplying for to get a review key, but you know how it is with ILMX Lab. I tried to get a review key the first time around from those guys, and they were just kind of like talk to Oculus. So I got to imagine they'll be like, talk to Sony. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
Drew says that he owned all three, but he never played episode 2 or 3. He's a big Star Wars fan. Uh, he said he thinks it's kind of weak. You know, I think that people's problem with Vader Immortal is the same kind of problem that many of our problems in VR, and it's a problem with expectations. People go in expecting this thing to be a game, and it's really not a game. It's a highly immersive narrative experience. Now, there's of course the lightsaber dojo. Uh, that kind of is like a game because you kind of you're scored on it, and you know you can chase your high scores and what have you. But the meat of the game, the story campaign, is not a game. It's a very interactive experience, narrative experience. But at the end of the day, that's all it is. You fight, you can't die. You move around, but it's very linear because they have to keep you right there in their story. Right? It's not free roam like a game would be. Uh, I think that the people went into it expecting that, had a better experience, and the people went into it expecting to play, the old school Jedi Star Wars games were probably a little bit disappointed.
yeah. Well, Scion, I think, kind of made a good point. He said that it's kind of like baby VR, and that was kind of the problem with it. They dumbed it down for VR noobs so much that for a lot of people that are, you know, veterans in VR, it was too much. Like it felt like your hand was held along the entire way, and I didn't need it to be held.
What about Wolves in the Wall? Did it hold your hand too much?
Man, it's a totally different thing. But yeah, I mean,
No, it's not. It's not a different thing. The only difference is that this is Star Wars and that's not.
well, this is like an adventure where you're shooting a gun and swinging lightsabers around, and Wolves in the Wall, you literally didn't really do anything. You just were watching a story. But I mean, I get your comparison, but I mean, I just feel like that they just, as far as the VR movement, it was just very basic, you know, and it was off-putting to people that are veterans. At least it was for me, and apparently to a couple other people. But
The only thing that put me off about it is what happens when you step out of line. You know, the way that the whole screen went black, and I felt like it was too sensitive. You should have been able to take a step left or right without that happening. But I had no problem with it being a linear, story.
I
I kind of I like the idea of being in a Star Wars movie.
it drove me crazy. The biggest thing that I would say that I agree with Scion on, that really the only thing that bugged me was, and a lot of games do this, or experiences or whatever, is locking me in place when I'm fighting, and I just can't stand being locked down, and that was for sure for VR noobs. You know what I mean? And I get it, because there's so many people coming into VR, especially with the Quest, that may have not been able to do that, right? I think we might have just lost stream there. It's coming back up.
So let me ask you this then: if so hypothetically, okay, so they came in and they told us this was an experience, right? An interactive experience. You're saying your problem is that there's fighting scenes in it, and you're not able to move around quite as much as you'd like. Well, what if there were no fighting scenes in it? Then would you think you would have enjoyed it more?
I don't know. I don't know if I would or not. I just know I don't like being locked into place.
Okay. Well, okay. Well, I guess a very divisive game or experience, rather. See, there I go with it. But I felt it was top notch, and I think that the majority of Star Wars fans that own PSVR are going to dig it. And I can't wait for the next one that's getting ready to come out, the Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. I think there's going to be a little bit more freedom in that game, but I largely expect it to be just like Vader Immortal, and I'm good with that.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Anyway, not all PSVR news this week. We actually got a new trailer for Tarzan VR. You know, it's been a while since we last heard any news about Stonepoke Studios' upcoming title. And this week, publisher Fun Train has released a brand new mixed reality trailer, which gives us a better look at the gameplay. Tarzan VR looks to emulate the physical heroics that the Tarzan character is known for, whether it's that swinging gracefully through the trees or getting involved in some hand to hand combat. But the physical gameplay doesn't stop there, as there's going to be swimming sections. You're going to be able to climb entire environments, and you'll have access to bows, slingshots, and other weapons to help you fight the bad guys. Yeah, so apparently, Roots, this looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. You're going to be able to climb everything, and you're going to be able to swing across the map, uh, full on Windland style, and take out the enemies. We just praised an upcoming title, Jupiter God, last week for having similar gameplay mechanics. Only this game, uh, it looks just beautiful. The environments, the cell shaded art style. I'm really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it's funny. We were just talking about this and where it was a few weeks ago, and then Stone Punk dropped in right to the one of the streams, and then and now we're seeing this, and I think it's going to be really good. It looks like it's got a good comic book feel to it. I want to see some actual gameplay instead of the mixed reality, because it's kind of it's hard to tell exactly what it's going to look like, but I think this is more concept, right? At least at this point, concept
No,
showing.
no, this is full on mixed reality. It's gameplay with that dude
Oh
superimposed
wow,
into it,
yeah.
just like the old pistol whip promos and things of that sort. You've seen some Beat Saber videos like this. This is actual gameplay. It's not just a cinematic render.
Ah, cool. It looks cool, man. I think it'll be really cool.
Yeah, I think that judging by what they're showing us here, that the whole question to me, because I knew this was going to be episodic, story driven. My whole question was, is it going to be more story like or more game like? And apparently, there's going to be a whole lot of gameplay elements in here, even more than I expected. A lot of different things we're going to be able to do in these episodes, Roots, and it looks like one of those things that are probably going to end a little quicker than we want them to, right?
Yeah, it looks really cool. So do they give us a date on this? Or this is just
Later this year. There's is no solid date on it yet. Just that we're going to get the first episode before the end of the year, um, and it is episodic. This is coming from publisher Fun Train. These are the guys that brought us the Exorcist Legion VR, and they say that this release is very much going to be structured like that one. So they're going to give us a level or two at a time with it.
oh cool. Well, I can't wait.
Yeah, I agree. I think it looks awesome. You mentioned that Jay from Stone Puck Studios dropped by a couple of weeks ago in our chat, and I actually continued the conversation with him for quite a while after the show ended, and he shared some things with me about it that I can't really share with the public quite yet. But trust me, you guys, most of our community is going to want to pick this up. There's some really cool, interesting things that are going on in this one.
Cool.
So yeah, you'll also, in addition to those weapons that you have to fight the enemies in this game, you also, as Tarzan, will be gifted with special abilities. The Call of the Wild ability will allow you to summon allies, including local wildlife, to aid you. So there you go, Roots. If you ever get pinned down and you need a fist bump, you can just use the Call of the Wild ability to call some of your jungle creatures in to come and
Fist
fist
bump.
bump it up with you.
Yeah. Do they fight with you, or are they like? Can you ride them? That'd be pretty cool, right?
I got to imagine that all of this is possibilities, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Now, there's some concern in the chat about it being episodic, and a couple people don't like that format. And I guess what I was saying is, really depends on how the cost of the episode and how long they are. You know. But I guess time will tell. Maybe if they put out 2 or 3 episodes and it does really well, then they're more inclined to make more, right?
Now, Red Delator says I'm okay with an hour episode. No, I tend to be in the same boat. My problem with the the Vader episodes is that they were too short to cut up into 3 spots. I felt like at the most that should have been cut in 2, but really it probably should have just been 1. But you give me an hour, charge me $10. I'm good with that.
Yeah, me too.
Earth Vision ability enables you to easily track your enemies or locate new paths through the jungle. So it looks like you're going to have a vision shift routes, and kind of like we've seen this thing in other games, right? Like the listen mode in The Last of Us, where the screen kind of turns a different color, or the persistence, for example, where the screen all turns green and you can see, items and enemies a lot better. It looks like Tarzan's going to have this ability as well.
Okay. Well, did you notice that that one spider that they're fighting looks awfully like a Black Widow? I don't know how far Anthony's going to get in this game, dude. He's gonna...
I bet that's not an accident either, because as um, Jay from Stone Punk, not just a friend of our community, but a OG VR game rankings community member. That's how we came to know him, and that I got to imagine if there's giant Black Widow spiders in the Tarzan game, it's probably not by accident, right?
Yeah, that's funny.
It's hilarious. I can't wait to see what Anthony thinks about it. He probably actually already played it, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
So let's see here. Episodic released expected later this year. We already covered that stuff. Yeah, man. The feeling is that it's not going to be very much longer, right? They're starting to go into promo mode again. Jay has come out from under his rock, which he's been under for most of the last year. So I'm feeling like this is imminent, but we don't know. As of right now, officially, it's just by the end of the year, we'll have the first episode.
I think it's going to look cool. The graphics look so cool, right?
Yeah, it looks like Borderlands style graphics, only a different setting. It's the jungle setting. It's a comic book take, right? They're calling these episodes issues because it's kind of like they're really taking the comic book format to heart here. So it's literally going to be like stepping into the pages of a comic book.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, I think it's going to be awesome. I think we saw something similar with Lies Beneath. I think we're going to get that here as well. Only obviously way more colorful than Lies Beneath was. What Lies Beneath was kind of washed out, black and white almost.
Yeah. Well, it looks like what will really be cool about this is the movement. Because we were just playing Windlands 2 last night and just agreeing that that's what makes it feel so cool is the swinging around, right? So you could do that in a comic book style. That's cool.
Yeah, I think that that this game is going to it's going to have climbing like Stormland, and then swinging like Windlands.
And I think that's swimming as well, like in Freediver.
Yeah, plenty of swimming sections, and all of those awesome different kinds of weapons. Your bows and slingshots, all kinds of other stuff. I think that we're going to be able to do a lot in this game, Roots, and I think that it bodes well.
Cool. Well, we know Stone Punk knows what they're doing. And for what was the name of their other game that we played that we raved about?
Primordian, dude.
Yeah,
it's
Primordian.
Like the definitive jungle in VR, right? The Primordian jungle. It stands up even to this day. It's still the best jungle scenery I've seen in VR. Still beautiful. So yeah, it bodes well for Tarzan. You couldn't have picked a better studio to design a jungle for your VR game.
Radio Runt says he's not going to be playing Tarzan because of the spiders, and I say you got this, bro. You can do it.
It's not real, man. It's not real. Totally not real.
You got this.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of get it. Some people are like that, but I at the same time, I kind of don't get it. It's all not real, and I've never been fully convinced in a VR game that it's not a VR game. You know what I mean? So even though Jack, for example, scares the crap out of me sometimes, I never quite literally fear for my life because it's not real.
What if you saw him walk in your room without the headset on? Then you'd probably shit your
then
pants.
I would probably not only shit my pants, but probably have a heart attack at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I let one of my friends borrow my physical copy of Resident Evil 7, and he just had the garage fight with with Jack.
Oh wow.
He just had the scenario happen where you're running toward the end of the hall to grab the key, and then Jack busts through the wall.
It scares you
Uh,
every single time. And that
every
car
time it
scene,
gets me.
dude, man, I've never felt like what is going on. I mean, I've killed this dude like 100 times and he's still getting back up. And that's I don't know. I've never felt like that in any game. I want to try it in Vorpx or Helix Vision in 3D on a flat immersive screen and see what the difference is. So
Yeah, I think I want to do full VR in Vorpx, and maybe we do that tomorrow on Monday's show as well, Roots, because we've got a couple of Vorpx titles we're going to talk about, but they're both they're not the full 3D experience, right? They're both these kind of you know simple games that can be played on an immersive screen. I don't know that I'll have time to get to it, but I'll certainly try to get some time in on RE7 if you want to.
yeah.
And maybe we talk about that tomorrow as well. That way, we're not just talking about, you know, cinema screen. We can talk about full VR support from Vorpx as well. Again, only using profiles, no tweaking. If it sucks, we'll just turn it right off and tell you. But I've been interested in this in a while because Dorillo says he prefers it over the PSVR version, and I find that hard to believe. But we're going to put it to the test.
Wow, that's the full VR mode, huh?
Pretty sure, unless I'm mistaken, I'm pretty sure that the RE7 support is full VR.
Cool.
I could be wrong. Don't go place your bets, but I think that it is.
Well, you can switch a lot. Most of them you can switch between the screens as long as it's set up that way. But I just like I said, for me, it just feels weird.
I'm interested either way, and it's different for different games.
Yeah.
It's from what I can tell, a game like BioShock, for instance, it translates very well.
Hmm.
Now, there's no motion controller support. It's completely controller driven, but it's 360 and it's just fine.
Oh, okay.
I know that one to be a fact. I watched PD play that one in VR. So another one on the list. Maybe if RE7 craps out, we'll use that as a backup. But yeah, so tune in tomorrow. We're gonna have a big Vorpx talk, or my first real experience in Vorpx. We're gonna cover it completely on the Monday show. We're gonna do Journey, which I completed. I'm gonna try out. What's it, Pedro? What's that one called again?
My friend
Roots?
Pedro.
My friend Pedro. Roots has suggested to me that I need to check that one out. We're gonna do that one, and then we'll probably try to get one in that's fully immersive VR. Most likely Resident Evil 7.
Yeah. Cool.
So tune in tomorrow for the Vorpx, the first of what I'm sure will be many Vorpx episodes of the Monday show.
Yeah, Mepper says Vorpx, his understanding is you need a beefier video card because it's running twice the video, which is true. Like
if you do what we've been saying and limit it to immersive screen mode, it's very manageable for my 1080 Ti. It didn't have any trouble with Journey. Of course, Journey not being the most demanding title, I get that. But there's a lot of great games that are like that. Little Nightmares people bring up a lot. You've got Inside and Limbo. Those Ori games, those are very highly rated games, platformer games. There's a series of those, and those are supposedly great in immersive 3D. So a lot of stuff you can do with Vorpx, even if you don't ever put it in full 3D mode.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, more to come on that tomorrow, and more to come on that in the future. I got to imagine if my experience continues to be as seamless as it has been so far, we're going to be talking about Vorpx a lot because I'm really digging it.
Yeah, we have Paradise Decay's smiley face to thank for that. For giving you the
PD
key, right?
in the chat. Big thanks, PD. I've totally, I have PD to thank because I won his contest. Is how I got Vorpx, and I played Journey because he suggested it. So a big double thanks to PD for finally pushing me in the direction of Vorpx.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you need to try Helix Vision. Although you can try that for free for uh my copy, and that's only $5 for people. So
Yeah, yeah. That's the one big thing about Helix Vision that's very appealing to me, being a budget-minded individual, is that it's $5 versus the 40 that you have to pay for Vorpx. So,
I would
I mean,
say for somebody
you
that
can take.
does, oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say you can take a flyer on $5, and if it sucks, I mean, what was the harm?
Well, even if you are just doing FX3, pinball FX3, or if you don't care about bringing your game into full VR and you just want the cinematic or that 3D version, Helix Vision is great. You just can't go into full VR. So
Right, right, yeah. I mean, if you get one game that works really well on it, I mean, and you've got your money's worth, right?
yeah, that's how I felt about it, because I was debating returning it at first because I could only get 2 games to play: Little Nightmares and then Pinball FX3. And Pinball FX3 was so good that I was like, "Well, screw it, dude," because I'd only want to play it that way anyway. It was better than even the VR version, with the tables and stuff, because of the way that it was up close and the way the 3D popped. You should try that one as well, because you can do it for free.
Yeah.
It's got the free
I,
copy. That's all I did. So
I need to try both. On to be honest, I still haven't played the VR version, and my initial thoughts on it would be that I would prefer motion controller support to actually hit the paddles and stuff myself. But again, I've never played it, so if you say that the other one's better because of the view, maybe I'll agree.
yeah.
Anyway, Tarzan VR, definitely something to look forward to, but not the only thing that's been completely hyped up and in talked about in our community. A lot of chatter in recent weeks regarding Stride. Of course, Stride is a parkour free running experience with shooting elements coming to us from Joyway. Joyway, the developer, announced this project back in April and promised us this game by the end of summer. The studio has announced an early access launch that is going to take place in August, but Roots some big changes to
Hmm.
the plan here, as the game release is now expected to take place in stages. They had initially planned on releasing a story driven campaign where you fight criminals on rooftops. Now that's been rolled back slightly, with the studio saying in a press release, quote, "We recognize that our plans were too ambitious and we do not have time to make a full story campaign before the end of summer." So, Roots, here we have Joyway. First of all, kudos to Joyway for being upfront about this and just telling us what the deal is. But kind of some backwards thinking here from them than we're used to. Normally, a developer makes a statement about some kind of a goal that they can't meet. When they can't meet that goal, they push the date back. Instead of doing that, Joyway has come out and said, "We'll have you this game by summer." And when they weren't able to meet that summer deadline, instead of pushing the date back for them to give us the game that they promised us, they're just going to give us something else before the end of summer. What do you think about this? I don't know what to make of it.
It depends on how good it is, and how much they follow through. I mean, I get I get it, but like you said, at least they're upfront about it. They're not hiding behind something else and saying, "Oh, it's because of this or that." They're just saying, "Hey, we weren't too ambitious." We know games like No Man's Sky, or I mean, it does exist. Games do come out, and then developers do finish it, and it gets to be, exactly what you wanted. But how many games do we also have that promise the moon, and then they get their money up front, and then all of a sudden they kind of lose their motivation to finish it? So it really falls on the developers. I mean, if the developers are good, then it's a no-brainer. Just, I mean, you're getting what you wanted anyway. The big draw was the action, the running around, the shooting people on the rooftops. So as long as they
Well,
finish it for
well,
me.
I got to be honest. I really want that story campaign, Roots. I enjoyed You're right. The gameplay mechanics at the core are what's so appealing about it. But I wanted that full blown story mission. If I buy this game, that'll be why I buy it. It's because the promise of that. So let's talk about this a little bit here. They're not giving us the story campaign like we were initially promised. So what are we getting? Well, the plan is now to release Stride in two phases. The first being a split release of three gameplay modes. We're going to get an endless mode where the levels are just continuously generated, which is, by the way, what we're looking at here. We're going to get an arena mode, which provides spacious terrain with waves of enemies, kind of like the sandbox in Boneworks, that type of thing. And then we're going to get a time chase mode where players can test their parkour skills against the clock. So basically, just chasing your own times, trying
Mm.
to run the maps as fast as possible. We now know that one of these three modes is going to be released this month. We do not know which mode it's going to be, and then the other two are going to follow as free updates. After those get released, then the next update will be the main story campaign. So again, Roots, I don't know what to think here. I don't know if I want to pick this game up early to play these modes. It seems like something I would play a couple times and then put down without the story to drive me forward. I don't know. Um, I don't know how much staying power
Mm.
this game's going to have. But maybe it's something like To the Top that I can just play forever.
It
But we won't know until we get our hands on it.
it's got to be level driven right off the bat, as far as like the beating your own scores and that type of stuff. I can't imagine the first mode being endless, because like you said, what does that do? At some point you're just going on forever. That's a good mode when you want to maybe just be going forever, but it's just weird. Like you said, I wonder, did they say what the cost is going to be off the bat or no?
No idea, but I do know that they've got two games coming out right here. Probably both of them coming out this month. The other one being that time game that we talked about last week,
Hmm.
Time Ranger, or what
Okay.
was it called? No, it used to be called Change Ranger. Now it's called crap. I gotta look it up
I
now
don't
that I
know,
brought it
that
up.
the original name was bizarre for sure.
Yeah,
Something
it
time
was.
something now.
Yeah, give me just a second here. I'm gonna bring up my show notes from last week. I'll tell you what it was called.
And
I'll be sure I get this right.
Andrew wants to know if RE7 is worth playing with Vorpx, and according to Gerillo, he says it's better than playing through PlayStation VR. From what Gerillo says, and he does seem to be a Vorpx aficionado. So,
And what I would say to that is that the PSVR version, uh, my favorite game I've ever played in VR. So if your only access to it is on PC through Vorpx, then I would absolutely say that it's worth giving it a shot because it's a terrifying game, and I'm hard to scare, uh, especially in a video game. But Resident Evil 7 does it. It'll put you on the edge of your seat. Some of the best stealth gameplay I've ever played in that game. Some of the scariest things I've ever seen are in that game. Um, and it goes right. It goes and it goes for quite some time. So yeah, if that's the only way you can play it, I would wholeheartedly uh, endorse it. But again, you might want to tune into the Monday show tomorrow because we could probably tell you a little bit more about it. Because I do think I am going to try to get into it tonight and see how it does.
yeah, because even if you just jump in there and you don't play it, if you find out it doesn't play well, then that'll be something to say as well.
Yep, absolutely. Time Hackers Roots is the name of
Ah,
the
yeah, it's a
game.
good name. Actually, I'm more excited about that game than this one, especially now after what you just said. The news is.
Well, that's the thing. If you put the full version of Stride against the full version of Time Hackers, I was more excited about Stride. But now it seems like Time Hackers is going to be more of a complete game at launch. So, yeah, you're probably right. That's probably the one to go for.
See, I'm more psyched about the mechanics of that other game than this one. I just think I love that mechanic in Just Incorporated or whatever, Just in Time Incorporated. And Time Hackers seems a little bit. It'll be interesting. So
Yeah, yeah. I still look forward to both of these games. I felt like it was an interesting approach because I've never really seen a uh, uh, I've never really seen a developer take this
hmm.
kind of approach. When they can't meet a deadline, they're just going to just give you what they have, right? Like turning in half of your term paper because you didn't get the final draft ready.
I've seen it, but usually it's the opposite way. They'll say, well, we're going to release the multiplayer mode, but we're going story, or whatever. I think what it was is they probably designed this game without a story in mind, and everybody wanted a story. And so they said, okay, yeah, we're doing a story, but they weren't really doing the story. And then all of a sudden, time is like, oh shit, man, we're here. I said, man, we need to.
Hey, Roots, I think I just had an amazing realization. Ashley Trouble, I'm fairly certain now that this is my sister in chat. I've never seen her in chat before. How's it going, sister? I can't wait for you to visit and play Resident Evil as well.
Wow, sister in the house. Well, it's different.
Actually, Dad's in the house,
Oh,
but
oh,
sister's in the chat.
oh, okay.
Anyway, I love you, sis. Thanks for showing up. Anyway, let's move on here. A lot of in-depth talk in the chat here, and actually, that's our final topic of the day. We keep coming back to it, Roots. This Oculus Quest version of In Death Unchained, tremendous support being shown to this game from its brand new developer, Super Bright. They keep making it better, Roots, and it's been a very successful launch by all indicators. And the developer came out this past week and showed us, the community, some love by giving us a thank you note. They actually wrote a letter and released it through the press to us, and they're very grateful for our support, not just us, the content creators, but you all, the consumers. So, Roots, did you catch any of this from the in-depth developer Super Bright?
I did. I was reading through it, and they did seem very appreciative. And I just wish they would have added the real shard instead of the sideways shard. But sure, there's reasons for it. I'll be salty about that forever. But no, I'm salty because I want to play this version of it, and I don't get it. I have the other version, and it's cool, but I want that guy throwing a fireball in my face. So.
Yeah, well, maybe I still kind of contend that if they have found a way for Oculus Quest to play Rift games, there should be some kind of a mode where Oculus Rift can play Quest games, right? I mean, it's common sense.
Yeah, you would think so, but we don't even have hand tracking. I can't do this, Wes. I'm really pissed.
You can't do this. Thanks a lot, Oculus.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. As soon as they give it to me, I'm gonna be like, it's about time, dude. Oh.
Anyway, what time is it, Riz?
Quote time.
Quote time, son. Because we got a whole letter from these guys, and I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. It was actually a fairly long, involved thing. But I did grab some quotes from it, basically to give you guys the gist of what they wanted to say, and to highlight a couple of things that I wanted to point out. So here we go. Big extended quote time for In Death Unchained. Quote, "We're blown away and humbled by how the game was received. A 4.9 out of 5 rating on the Oculus Store after over 400 reviews makes Unchained one of the highest rated games on Quest and one of its top sellers, despite its more demanding genre. In Death Unchained is already the highest rated archery game on Quest, but it can be quite challenging. We'd like everyone to be able to join in on the fun and enjoy a rich visual experience. With these goals in mind, I want to announce that we will soon be adding a free new game mode to the game, an archery range with its own leaderboards where players of all skill levels
Hmm.
will find something for themselves. Even the most casual players will be able to enjoy the super fun shooting mechanics within the beautiful setting of all three worlds in a laid back atmosphere. But when played seriously, our more competitive and hardcore players will be able to push the limits of the mode and the shooting in VR overall using their skills to reach mind blowing scores. So here we have it, Roots. We talked about it in recent weeks. Um, that there was a new game mode coming. We wondered what it was going to be. Well, now we know it's this archery mode, this range, but apparently this is going to be something that is as intense and involved as you want to make it. So casuals can play something that isn't as intense as the main campaign. But if you want to take an intense approach to it and really push the leaderboards, you can do that as well because it's going to have its own leaderboard.
Oh, wow. Well, isn't the game kind of like its own archery mode where you're wandering around and your targets are coming at you and attacking you? That's what I like for. I was hoping the game mode was going to be slipped into in-depth PC and it was going to be a Unchained mode and I could play that version, but no such luck for Roots. But yeah.
Well, no, the idea is here is for people like say my kids or some people
Uh,
who aren't down for like the hardcore gameplay can get in here and do something that's more their speed,
hmm.
but still has its own leaderboards. So there is that competitive nature to it, even still.
Yeah, or if they're scared of zombies, maybe they could play archery mode,
There you go.
Yeah.
Right, kids and silent.
Yeah, they they need a Scion mode for Saints and Sinners. That'd be pretty cool, right?
That's true. The other cool thing about this mode, Roots, that I thought was cool is that they have put all three worlds into it. So it's going to be set
Hmm.
in the levels from the game. So if I'm reading this right, you're going to be able to go in and check out the abyss right off the top without having to unlock it like you would in the campaign.
Well, that's cool because one of the best things about this game, and I've not played the quest, but I'm assuming it's the same, is the environments. Like as you're walking around that castle area, that cathedral and the music, and it's like it really does feel like you're in this, cathedral area and there's monsters coming at you. So I think it'd be pretty cool for those that don't want to see the monsters, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it's going to lend itself well to that type of experience. And another the last note here that I made, and there was a whole line of update notes. I took one in particular from the latest version. Not the archery update. We don't have the archery update yet, as far as I know. But they did update it again the other day. And one of the things I noticed, version 1.09, uh, has now added 3 independent profiles so that the game can be shared between multiple people
Hmm.
on the same headset. Roots, this is an awesome thing, a thing that I always call for on these, especially these Oculus Quest games, because you just have the one's headset. You can't log other people into it. Um, and I'm going to go ahead and pat myself on the back here, Roots, and I'm going to take credit for this one because it was a few weeks back. I was reporting a bug that I encountered, talking to the developer directly, of course, telling them about a bug I encountered because I had to do a progress reset because had to I wanted to share the headset with my wife, and her being a noob, I didn't want to put her into the hit fire already, right off the top. So I reset the progress. There was a bug, and I reported that. They had already fixed it by the time I reported it, but I also mentioned to them that they needed to implement some kind of a guest mode for people like me who want to share their headset with their family members. And they seemed very interested in the idea. They said it was a good idea, And I wondered if they were giving me lip service or if they really liked the idea. Well, now we know because here we are. The latest version comes out and they implement just that. So kudos to Superbright. Way to listen to the community and way to listen to Weasel.
Yeah, you know what's funny, Wes? Because it is a good decision. It's kind of like somebody told them, it's not a good idea to chop your arm off. Like to me, it's, that's always been the case with every game I've ever played, Super Nintendo, Nintendo, whatever. You've got three, at least minimum three slots, right? Even back in the day when there was no memory there, there's really no reason not to have, even if I might want to play a different game and have a separate version of it for myself. It's just like you've always say, options are good. And I hope more games do this because, it just is, it's very short-sighted for me for games to not have multiple save slots.
Yeah, the more experience I gain here within the kind of ecosystem, we're kind of in a different spot now than we used to be. Used to we were the consumer, and you had the consumers and the developers, but now we're kind of in between, right? We have the consumers over here, we have the devs over here. We're kind of the bridge in between. And the more time that I spend in the space, the more I realize just how detached a lot of these developers are from their consumer base. This is why they ask for feedback, Roots. You
Mm,
notice that a lot of developers are very insistent that play our beta, please give us feedback. I think they need it, Roots. I think they really don't think of this stuff. They don't it never occurs to them because they're not the player, right? They're
mm.
they're making it. So I'm starting to see it more. I always kind of thought it was a little weird that that some of this stuff seems so obvious, right? That
Mm.
it should be incorporated. But again, developer after developer, even the best ones, they seem oblivious to some of these things that seem so obvious to a consumer.
Yeah, it's weird, and it shows you that never hurts to have your voice be heard. Like even if you think they're not going to listen, because you didn't know if they were going to listen or not, and they did, and that's cool that they put it in there. So,
Well, I got to say that I've dealt with a lot of developers over the last year and a half we've been doing this. Some of these super bright guys are some of the better ones from a development standpoint that I've dealt with. They absolutely totally friendly. Listen to everything that you have to say, and case in point that they'll implement it if it's a good idea. So yeah, I wholeheartedly once again would like to recommend that people buy this title. It's great if you have an Oculus Quest, and if there's something you don't like about it, tell them. If you don't like the way the shard works, let these guys know. Maybe they'll put the
mm.
option in there to give you the PC shard. Who
Yeah,
knows?
give Roots the PC shard. I'm saying it right now. I don't like the Quest shard. Please fix it, and then I'll buy a Quest just so I can play your game. Actually, I'm gonna get a Quest eventually, and I would love. This is a in death is just so good. It's like the best. That was one of the things that we loved about VR when we first came into it was trying that HTC demo, right? And the bow and arrow guys, and it felt so good. Bow and arrow is one of those things that feels good in VR, and the Quest is an incoming title, and you got this horror title kind of. I don't know. I just it's perfect for the Quest. So
Yeah, and it's a beautiful game too, and I mean, again, continuously being upgraded and updated. I mean, it's already on version 109. I mean, they keep tweaking it, keep making it better, making it play better, making it look better, adding in new game modes. I mean, it's just incredible how much effort these guys have put in. I mean, it's already a hit. They can stop now, but they're not going to. They're going to keep going.
yeah, that's kind of weird. Bitey says he's probably played over 2 hours, but he doesn't know because the Quest doesn't tell you on the app how many hours you play. Why is that? Like Steam will proudly tell you exactly how many hours. I know you can find out on the Rift. I mean, it should just be there. I mean, it seems like a small thing, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I never really thought about it because it really the only reason I ever even checked that is so I could come on here and tell you guys how much I played, because I'm, kind of reviewing games. I mean, we don't do full reviews. We generally give impressions on this channel, but I like to let people know just exactly how much that I've played. But I mean, if I wasn't doing this, I can't imagine that it would really matter to me how much I played a game or not.
Yeah, just curiosity, really.
Yeah. But yeah, I got to say, I mean, if we had to tally up all the hours over the last month, In Death Unchained probably is going to take the trophy for Weasel. I've probably put more time into this than any game, including Dreams or Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners, even Journey. I've probably played In Death Unchained more than any of those
How
games.
many hours have you played? Oh wait, you can't find out.
No idea, dude. I know
No
I've
way.
played this. I've probably played it. I don't know, 30 to 40 sessions in it.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
I've played
crazy.
it a lot. For me, that's a lot. I mean, yeah. So
Cool.
it's a great game, very addictive. I want to play it right now, just talking about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's going to wrap up our news segment and bring us into our weekly reminders. And we're going to kick off our reminders, as we always do, by asking you, the community, to come along with us right now in real time as we go and try to help out these developers by wishlisting some of their titles. They always ask us, please wishlist our title on Steam. Please wish our title. Please wishlist our title on Oculus. It's important to them. It really helps them. And that's why we like to take time out every week to do just that. So, what do we have on the docket this week, Roots? We've got Stride, which we already did. Vader Immortal on PSVR, we could wishlist that. Hitman 3, I'm not sure if that one's available yet.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Uh,
I've already got Stride wish listed. I've already got Tarzan wish listed. I just found that out. So I don't
I'm
think
not
there's
sure
anything
I've
for
got.
me left to do.
I'm not sure I've got Tarzan wishlisted. I think I'm going to get on there and do that one real quick. As always, you guys be sure to let us know in the comments what you wish listed this week.
It's all wish listed for me. So
Well, as usual, I'm logged in on the wife's Steam, so I'm just going to wish list it to her wish list.
yeah, she's gonna be like, why do I keep getting all these recommendations for VR?
Because it's way easier than me logging into my other Windows account. But there's some cool looking concept art on the Steam page for Tarzan. It's a cool looking game. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, Spry Guy said he got Tarzan wish listed. Made me change back to the Tarzan scene because I do really like the way this looks.
And this dude here in the commercial or the promo ad, he keeps I keep catching him out of the corner of my eye and thinking that it's PSVR Frank because the guy kind of has Frank haircut and the Frank suit, right?
Yeah.
So maybe they should have went that route and put Frank in their video. That would have been funny. Anyway, okay, so the wish list reminder is up, and that's going to, of course, bring us into our next reminder: free stuff and killer deals. And Root's quite a lengthy free stuff and killer deals this week because we got summer sales going on the Oculus store this week.
Yeah, speaking of killer deals, Scion's giving away Into the Radius key in about 30 minutes. He'll be doing his video for that. So that's a good deal.
Yeah, Scion VR on YouTube here. So anyone who has PC VR, those of you who didn't win during our giveaway last week, be sure to go and subscribe to Scion's channel. 30 minutes from now, so right around 2 o'clock. Go over there and watch. Is he doing a video? Is that what he's saying?
Oh, yeah,
Video kicks off the intro.
I think he's doing a
he's
live video.
New video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, or a live
Cool.
premiere.
You guys be sure to go check that out. And cool game and free game. Free games are always good, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And with that in mind, we, as always, are going to kick it off here with PlayStation Plus for the month of August. They're offering up 2 games this month, Roots. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, as well as Fall Guys, Roots. And I don't know if you've been watching YouTube any this week, but Fall Guys is all the rage. It just released. It's a kind of a 50-person battle royale platformer, if that makes any sense to you. and everybody's playing it. Every gaming channel on YouTube is playing this game right now.
I've seen people streaming it on Twitch, but I haven't really watched any gameplay. It looks like
Yeah,
cartoony, right?
yeah, it's very cartoony. And it's very free. So if you are a PlayStation Plus member, be sure to go on there and grab your free stuff. Also, not a lot of sales on the PlayStation Store this week, but I did note a few must-own games at, I mean, in most cases, all-time high discounts. Borderlands 2 VR route, 60% off, $20.
Wow, that's a good deal. And you can
Yeah,
use the aim controller.
exactly. And you can use the aim controller. Res Infinite, a game that, just recently started going on sale. For the longest time, you couldn't catch Res on sale. But again, another must-own game, $15
Well,
right now on
apparently
PlayStation
Fall
Store.
Guys is hella fun from what Zaylin Maru and Andrew Quiros, I don't know how to say your name, says. So
Yeah, everybody says that, Roots. I mean, people are really digging this game.
wow, I might have to check it out. Well, I don't think I have a oh, it's actually on Steam as well, huh?
Yeah, it's cross-platform. I mean, it's everywhere right now, dude.
And it's only $20. Good deal.
Yeah, cool. Uh, Jim Hall's favorite game, Roots Tetris Effect, $20, half off right now.
Wow, that's a good deal for sure. Pick that
Yeah,
up.
Jim would tell you that that's a steal.
Yeah.
And then of course my favorite VR platformer and probably the funniest game that I've ever played, Trevor Saves the Universe, also $20. Again, all four of these must-own titles, in my opinion. If you have PlayStation VR and you don't have any of these, I highly suggest you go pick them up right now.
Yeah, Factory Life makes a good point. The Call of Duty game is only the campaign, but it is free. So
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It is the campaign, but I mean, if you're like Weasel, that's the part. If you had to pick which part of the game you want, that would be the part that I picked.
yeah.
Anyway, Epic Games Store, 2 games for free on Epic Games this week. A game called 3 out of 10, which is a story-driven episodic thing about the shittiest game developers of all time.
Hmm.
And then another puzzle game called Wilmot's Warehouse, which actually looked a little bit interesting. It's kind of a warehouse organization puzzle game, if I had to put a description on it. But really, you'd have to see it to understand what's going on with it.
I need to get back into the habit of getting my Epic Game Store copies of games because I forgot for like several weeks. All those games wasted.
They're giving away a Remnant game next week. One of the Remnant series, and it's a very popular, series of games. So next week's probably the week you want to jump back in.
Well, and it's one of those things that people don't think about. These are free flat games, but if you're doing the Helix Vision or the Vorpx, I mean, there's a lot of games out there you could be playing in it.
Yeah, my whole thing with it is it's free, dude. It's free, and you never know. Maybe tomorrow one of your eyes gets taken out, and VR doesn't have 3D anymore, and or maybe something else. Maybe you start getting vertigo. You never know what's going to happen.
True.
Is my point. And having this big, extensive library of free games, it doesn't hurt, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to install them.
That's true.
So yeah, I've got a massive PlayStation library, and my Epic library is nothing to sneeze at because, free stuff and killer deals has got me into regularly looking at it, and I always just pick them up when I'm checking for the show.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's going to bring us to the Oculus summer sale. Loads of titles on sale for Oculus Quest as well as Oculus Rift. And it's a bit different now. Finally, we're starting to see some sales on Oculus Quest games. There for the first year that the Quest was out, you never saw any games go on sale. So the fact that we have a handful of very good games on sale now is a welcome change, in my opinion.
Yeah, people bitched for a long time, right? I guess understandably, because you'd see all these games on sale on the Rift and nothing on the Quest. But this one here, Moss, is a really good game for the Quest, right? That's the first time I've seen it on sale for Quest.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 33% off, $10 off of Moss, $20. Another one of VR's um, must-have titles, and I want to go ahead and preface this whole segment, this whole Oculus summer sale thing. Today is the last day, so if any of these sales appeal to you, go buy it right now because
Mm.
it's not going to be here tomorrow.
And if
So
you're watching this tomorrow, I'm sorry you missed it.
yeah, that's what you got to watch it on the day. I mean, tomorrow's Monday. It's
Yeah,
for the Monday show, right?
yeah, yeah. And then you deserve it. You didn't watch it live, so
Right. And for those of you listening, we're sorry.
yeah, we're sorry. That's right.
There's a bundle route. You can get Red Matter and Space Pirate Trainer bundled together for $27 on Oculus Quest.
That's a good
Red
deal.
Matter, one of the most graphically beautiful games on Oculus Quest. And I almost picked it up just for that, just to see what it looks like in the headset.
Nah, it was such a fun game to play too. The movement was different. It was intriguing. That the puzzles were cool. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well. My whole thing is I've got it. I've got it on the PC. I can play it there at any point in time. And if I want to play it wireless on Quest, I can just use Virtual Desktop, which, by the way, is another title that's on sale. $16 for Virtual Desktop right now. A
Wow.
must own if you want to wirelessly connect your Quest to your PC. You got to buy Virtual Desktop. And if you can get it on sale, then you probably should, right?
Yeah, it's a must own in my opinion on any platform, even if for PC. I really enjoy it. I play a lot of games that aren't in Vorpx or whatever. Just playing it on a big virtual screen can be really cool. And then of course watching 3D movies or 360 movies, they make it really easy the way it's set up. So it's a no brainer for me on Quest, but definitely worth getting on the PC as well.
Yeah, I agree. Roots, people like to shit on the Oculus sales a lot. I don't, I really don't know why. I think maybe it's because they don't have 10,000 titles like Steam does. I mean, they just don't have that many games. One of the things people do criticize them about is their original titles, their first party exclusives, they don't put on sale a lot. But they do put some of them on sale. It's just the very top ones that they don't put on sale.
Hmm.
But a game like Journey of the Gods, for example, one of the best Oculus Quest games, even till this day, it was an Oculus Quest launch title, but loads of fun Zelda style adventure. It's on sale right now for $25, down from 30.
Wow.
So good deal for that.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I always thought 30 was definitely way too much for that game, but yeah, maybe 25 sounds a little bit better, right?
Yeah, 25 and cross-buy, so you get it for both Oculus Rift as well as your Quest. So.
Wow.
Racket NX, a title we just covered recently on the show. A bunch of cool updates coming to Racket NX. $14 right now on Oculus Quest.
That's a good deal. Yeah, see, I've got Audica on my brain. I saw Audica was on sale and I was like, who doesn't own this game on Quest? If you don't own it, something's wrong with you. $20,
Yeah,
man.
Audica $20, and again, Roots cross-buy enabled. You can get this for Rift and Quest for $20.
You know, the best part about it is if you are inclined to, you can friend Radio Runt, and then you can cry when you look at his scores compared to yours, like I do. Because I can't catch him, man. A couple times I passed him, and then he immediately passed me back, and then I think he kicked it into like serious I'm gonna screw Roots over mode, and I can't catch him anymore. Crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what happens, Roots. These kind of competitions, it's an everyday commitment, right? So if you're going to hang with Radio, right, you have to get the practice in, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I need to practice big time.
Anyway, speaking of Oculus exclusives, one of the best puzzlers on Oculus Quest, if not the best puzzler on Oculus Quest, is Shadow Point. Shadow Point, very creative light puzzles in this game. Um, Voice acting and narration from what's his name,
Patrick
Roots?
Stewart.
Patrick Stewart. A very high quality title, another Oculus Quest launch title, $15, worth it all day long. Another cross-buy title. So if you buy it on Quest, you get it on Rift. And again, another example of a big, Oculus exclusive on sale.
Yeah, see the exclusives that you don't ever see on sale are the ones that need to go on sale, like From Other Suns or Marvel Powers United, right? That's what
Right.
why
Yeah,
people
they have
complain.
a handful of exclusives that they just don't put on sale. And these are the best games in VR, and they know it. So they keep. I mean, they occasionally you'll see a daily deal, but it's very very real. Games like Lone Echo, games like Stormland and Asgard's Wrath. You won't see those games on sale very much. But I mean, again, it's not like. Steam has all of these awesome exclusives that they put on sale all the time, and people like to crap on Oculus and praise Steam, but I mean, I don't really see the difference. I don't think it's justified.
No.
Racket Fury, $15. Roots. Again, another cross-buy title, another highly rated cross-buy title at that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that moves us on to Oculus Rift. I wrote a bunch of stuff down here, not the top cream of the crop titles, but great deals nonetheless. If somebody just bought an Oculus Rift S and only has like, $20 or $30, you can put together a pretty good little library of games on the list that I've put together here.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, one of them that I enjoy, and I know a lot of people as a good shooter, is Dick Wild 2, right? $7. A good deal
Yeah,
for.
that's a fun co-op deal too. I'm pretty sure it has. Um, if you were to get it on PlayStation, it would have aim support, but on PC, we played it on PC, and it was a good it was a good rail shooter. It was a lot of fun with a friend. That was the
Hmm.
thing. And if you like this sort of thing, this kind of comedic shooter, the original Dick Wild's even less, $4.
Yeah, $4. I heard that one's harder. Jim All wants to know how Audica is on Quest. I've never played it on Quest at 72 hertz, but I know that people swear that it's amazing at was it 144? So I would imagine, it's
About half as fun.
half as amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So like, if we had two quests that we could put together, then it
Yeah.
would be perfect.
Yeah, one for each eye. That'd be cool.
Yeah, yeah. So Dick Wild, $4 and $7 respectively. Seeking Dawn, $6. Roots. It still blows my mind how cheap they're selling this game for.
Yeah, that one. We've had a lot of fun in that. Me, Scion, and Radio Runt. Maybe we need to get back to it. I know we decided that there was a couple of weird things that were preventing us from continuing on, but really good game, definitely a good story, and
Uh,
a lot to it.
uh, High quality, visuals and a lot of game here, and yeah, there's some jank, but it's pretty much all co-op multiplayer jank. If you play this as a single player experience, it's an amazing game. It really is. And for $6, I mean $12 would be a great price for it. I mean $6 is just stupid low for it.
Yeah, no, you know what? This is a game here, Bloody Zombies, that we never get. We keep talking about going into, right? I bought it and it looks cool, and I don't know why I've never tried it. I mean, it's a
Uh,
co-op.
I've wanted to play this game literally for years, Roots, and I was literally. I'm glad that you brought it up because I was going to suggest to you today. Let's play this game. I don't mean let's play it today, but we need a game for Money Show Five.
Hmm.
I think Bloody Zombies should be the game we play for Money Show Five.
Yeah, because I've never tried it. I've got it in my library, and why not? Sounds good to me.
Yeah, up to four-player co-op in this game. It's brought to us from In Dreams, the same guys who brought us Phantom Covert Ops, and it's cool. It looks like a side scroller, and you can very much play it that way, even on a flat screen. You don't have to
Hmm.
play it in VR. You can play it on a flat screen, and but the VR players have the advantage of kind of being in the world, being able to look down, and you can see behind what appears to be flat things on the flat screen. So the VR player sees things that are not visible to the flat players.
Mm.
So it's pretty cool. It adds another dimension of teamwork to the co-op gameplay.
Yeah, it looks cool. It's what,
It
$5
looks
or
awesome.
$6 or something?
Yeah, $5
Yeah.
for or six. You're right, $6 for Bloody Zombies right now. So yeah, definitely. I mean, if you guys want to play some Bloody Zombies with us, go ahead and pick it up. We're going to be playing this one sometime in the next few weeks.
Okay.
So yeah, go
Well,
ahead and grab it.
I was gonna say, how about this game? That you said you've been playing this a lot lately. That it's kind of like Headmaster, right? That it's addictive as hell. And you started telling me
Yeah,
secrets about the game. Now, man, I want to go back in and play it now.
yeah. This has been my palate cleanser of choice for about a week and a half now. I keep going back to it because it's so fun, and it's really well done. No jank here whatsoever. Beautiful looking and sounding game, and it's a basic concept, right? It's that same style of gameplay that you get with Headmaster. That quick, you know, reaction, reflex style gameplay. It's a basic concept. You're dodging, catching, and throwing, but it's fast paced. It's funny. It's got good production values and it's super fun. And for $10, I mean, it's worth that all day long.
Yeah, that's a no brainer. That's I've only played probably half of what you played, and I've had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've been going back to it time and again. Generally, that's how I come off my Vorpx sessions. I'll do a nice long Vorpx session, and then I'll put on the Good Goliath for a few minutes and beat a level or so, and then I'll go to bed.
Yeah, you be the giant.
Be the giant. Absolutely, it's a good game. It's funny too. So you guys will enjoy it. If you liked Headmaster especially, it's that same type of quick reflex gameplay. So.
Yep.
Let's see here. What do we have? Detached, another $6 game that has fairly good reviews. Only $6. I haven't played it, but a lot of people like that game, so I'll put it
Yeah,
on the
I don't
list
know if
here.
I've played it. I think I might own it, but I'm not sure.
11 Table Tennis, a game you've heard me talk a lot about. $13, as is Shadow Legend Roots, $13.
Wow, that was one of the games that blew me away. Shadow Legends when it first came out because it just felt so good, and it's got it's just really cool. So.
Yeah, a lot of it was it was a big deal at the time that it came out, right? But again, as we said at the top of the show, things change so quickly. It wasn't that long ago, Roots, where Shadow Legend was new and it was a big deal.
Mm.
But now as the Asgard's effect takes hold and we get Shadow Legend in the bargain bin.
DLG27 says Detached is one of his favorite games, space games. So
Well, there you go.
yep.
That's supposed a lot of people like that game.
How about Operation
Uh,
Warcade? Isn't that what this is called?
Yes, absolutely. This is another one of those games, one of the Virtual Strangers staples that we constantly come back to talking about because it's so underrated and it's just fun to play. A lot of retro nostalgia going on here and a lot of fun gameplay. Whole lot of game for $5, Roots.
Yeah, $5. What a good deal.
Absolutely. What about touring cards? I mean, this is one of the games that you've really put a lot of time into. $7.
Yeah, that's a good deal actually. And I just haven't been back into touring carts for a while because we did the Dash, the touring carts, and the Mini Motor X comparison, and I haven't been back into much racing since then, but grip. So I need to get back in there.
Absolutely. $7 a low price point, especially for a game like Pixel Rip 1989 Roots. The original Pixel Rip, the one that kind of put them on the map, still a great game, especially for $7.
Yeah, $7. What a good point. Our price point to get in there.
Absolutely. If you don't have that one yet, now's the time. It's super cheap. To the top, Roots. I've said it many times. A must-own title, still to this day, one of the funnest games in VR. $10.
Yeah, that is crazy, right? $10.
Yeah,
And you
for
can,
To the Top. I mean, this is This is fun to play alone, but you can bring a friend too. You don't have to play alone.
Yeah, yeah, got a good multiplayer mode. It's hard
It's one of
actually.
those things like there are a few of these things in VR that are unique to VR. One of those things is heights, and if you're one of these people who get up in high places and you can feel it and it really affects you, To the Top is a game that's really going to affect you because you can just climb and climb forever. This game.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so let's see here. Red Matter, $16. We already kind of talked about Red Matter. The Climb, Roots. Forever the Climb was $40 and it never went on sale. It was one of those titles like we were talking about with the Lone Echoes and the Marvel Powers United. It was one of those that never went on sale. $22 now, Roots. $18 down from its original launch price, and it's cross-buy, so you get it on both devices.
That's perfect. I mean, that's about what it should be. $20, man. That makes you want to get into it all day long. There's another game right here that is underrated, even though I forget it's out there. Fallout 4, right? I mean, that's one of the biggest games in VR, and $18. I mean, usually it's what, $40 as well.
Yeah, so what you're doing right now is you're actually moving on into the Steam sale.
Ooh,
You can't get Fallout 4 on the Oculus platform. That was the next line item, and we might as well go over there. I think we got all of the except for Lies Beneath. Lies Beneath, also a great game that just came out a couple of months ago. $24. That's on the Oculus Rift store. Also a cross-buy title. If you like horror games, that's
mm,
one of the best horror games in VR. Again, all the Oculus stuff is today only. So if any of that stuff appeals to you, go get it. But yeah, Roots, what we're getting into here now is I wrote down a few Steam titles. Not, I mean, there's a lot of stuff on sale on Steam, but there's always a lot of stuff on sale on Steam. There's a lot of garbage on Steam, but there was a few gems on there at all-time low prices, and Fallout 4 is one of those games.
yeah, and it's one of those games I need to play through. I always get stuck on the base building and get too involved in it. I just need to go through the story. So
You got to get your priorities in line, Roots, when you play Fallout 4.
yeah, absolutely.
Same thing with Skyrim. You get on there, you want to grind about and get sidetracked with all of the things that happen in this huge open world. Skyrim is still one of the best in VR, $18 as well.
Yeah, Skyrim. And that's one of those games that you keep talking about wanting to go into and mod, right? But you're a little apprehensive because you know it's going to suck your world up, your time.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. We're thankfully we went the Vorpx route because the other choice was to go the Skyrim route, and I'd still be working on it if I'd done that.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you're going to really enjoy it, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, one more title here from the Steam this week on sale: Dirt Rally 2, $10, Roots. I mean, what was that? $60 when they launched it.
Yeah, I keep saying I need to pick that up. How many times have I said that? And I never even tried it. And I hate Dirt Rally 1 because he's yelling at me. I just need to try Alex's copy and see what I think.
I always used to get pissed off because Dirt Rally 2 would be, super cheap on Steam, but then that never goes on sale on Oculus. But now I've got a Steam VR headset coming in, so I don't have to really think about it like that, anymore.
Yeah, well, it's true. As long as you've got an Oculus headset to play the native ones, it doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah, and even if I have to use Revive, I mean, Sebastian did a Revive video the other day played Asgard's Wrath, Stormland, all that stuff on the Reverb G2, and it all worked very well. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing about Revive is it all works until it doesn't work on specific title, but it's getting to the point where almost everything works perfect. So
yeah, well, it's just a matter of time. When something first launches, it doesn't work, and then when it first works, then it doesn't work very well. But over time, it gets better and better until it just works
yeah,
almost like it's native.
yeah, true.
All right, so that's going to wrap Steam and bring us to our weekly Viveport. We don't set out to do Viveport every week. I check it every week. There's not always new releases on Viveport Infinity, but you know what, Roots? 7 weeks in a row. This is our 7th week in a row reporting new Viveport titles to Infinity. They are on quite a run, adding quality title. I mean, I'm not even telling you all the new games that are coming to Viveport. I'm just telling you the really good ones. And we've managed to have at least 2 games a week for 7 weeks running now.
That's crazy. Well, it just shows you how good Viport is and how, like almost every game we're talking about, whether it be Paper Beast or whatever, um, it's out on Viport
Yeah,
Infinity.
it's crazy, man. Just how good a deal that is. I'm starting to feel like we're never going to see $20 Viveport subscriptions again.
Yeah, probably not. But you know what we are going to see is VR Spry Guy and I, we have a pact. We're going to quit our jobs so that we can play more VR games. And then we won't be able
Skiva says you have a Steam VR headset coming, Wes. Well, I mean, it's a Reverb G2. It's not like it's not an Index or a Vive. It's WMR2 slash Steam VR headset. It has the Steam VR logo on it. So
Yeah.
yeah, kinda.
Yeah. Nice.
He says congrats. Thanks, man. Yeah, I can't wait. Um, Actually, they've given us a furlough schedule for the rest of the year, Roots, and right around that time that I'm expecting to have my new headset, I should be getting a week off of work.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
if everything lines up just perfectly, I'm going to have new headset. I'm going to have Microsoft Flight Simulator.
You know what?
I'm going to have a week off work.
You'll also have free on Viveport Infinity. You'll have Good Goliath to play on your Reverb too. I know that's going to be your number one game, right? You check out.
I'm certainly going to be checking it out in the headset. I'm playing it almost daily now. But yeah, Good Goliath. You just heard me put it over hardcore. Here it is. I mean, if you've got Viveport, you don't have to just take my word for it. Go try it for yourself.
Yeah, what an awesome game to be able to just jump into because you've got a subscription for free, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's Viveport, a great platform for like these palette cleanser type titles.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course that wasn't all Viveport brought us this week, but we also got Mini Motor Racing X. What better way to support a multiplayer game, Rich, than put it on Viveport Infinity?
Yeah, and this is such a good game. Very underrated. I know a lot of people don't. There's just the different things you can do, the amount of levels, the cars, the way it feels, whether you're playing it in third person or you're playing in first person or whatever. It just feels good and it's cool. Now you can play it for free.
Absolutely. A great game. Gamer Chick, this is a great game to own on PSVR. So I know you say you don't want to pick up anymore until you play these ones. But I got to say, Mini Motor Racing X is great on PSVR. If you don't have Farpoint, what are you doing? And Dreams. You got to get Dreams. I mean, come on. Everybody has dreams.
Yeah, everybody has dreams. They just don't remember them, right? That's what they say.
Right. Anyway, that's going to wrap up our show for this week. And Roots, another good one, sir. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, for sure. You too.
We'd like to go ahead and remind you all how you can support our channel. Of course, if you're new to the channel, you know what to do. The best way to support us is by clicking that subscription button and the notification bell right next to it to stay up with all of our content. I mean, without that bell, how are they going to know when the Monday show's coming, Roots?
Yeah, and
except for the fact that it's on Monday.
Yeah, well, usually, but also join the Discord. Then you'll get the notification. Right, Wes always announces it. About an hour before, and then you can't miss it.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, Discord invitation in the description. A good way for you to join the community and join the ongoing VR conversation. And of course, for those of you who have been long-time fans, long-time supporters, long-time subscribers, if you'd like to do a little extra to help prop us up, to help us grow, you can, of course, do so by supporting us on Patreon. And for as little as $3 per month, you can gain access to our weekly show notes as well as the always awesome Money Show. And just a note for those of you who out there who are Patreon supporters, we did just release a new episode of the Money Show. It's live on there right now. It's Roots and I having ourselves a little Minecraft VR shenanigans. I'd never played Minecraft flat or VR outside of just a few minutes here and there. Never really had a serious gameplay session until this past week. Mr. Roots was kind enough to show me around his realm, and it was a pretty awesome time.
Yeah, Roots Realm. Check that out.
Absolutely. Anyway, with that said, friends, we'd like to thank you once again for watching. And for Roots, I'm Wes. We'll see you tomorrow, friends.